We've already covered kimbap, ramen, and tateokbokki. They've made it big, but there's still one final dish left here.
Now, let's look at the absolute final piece of the Korean street food puzzle, the famous blood sausage, Sundae.
Its name is Sundae, but it's actually a blood sausage, making it the ultimate final boss for foreign foodies.
Think about it. Kimbap crossed the cultural barrier, and so did ramen. Now, only Sundae stands right before it.
But here's a quick question for you. Do Americans actually avoid eating animal organs? Well, the truth might surprise you. Let's take a quick trip down to the American South, famously known as the true home of traditional soul food. They actually have a dish called chitlins, made from pig's small intestines, which is incredibly similar to Korean gopchang. The historical records go way back to a 1700s British cookbook, proving organ dishes originally existed in Western culture. During the dark era of slavery, these animal organs were the leftover scraps, making them a food for pure survival. But here is the twist. The local community completely transformed this survival food into a proud symbol of their heritage.
There's also a dish called hog maw, made of pig stomach, but it actually has two very distinct lineages. One comes from a traditional German recipe, while the other belongs to Southern soul food, just sharing the same name.
Look at immigrant neighborhoods too. With menudo and beef tongue tacos, organ meats are still very much alive and well. So, what happens to the remaining organs? Do they secretly end up in hot dogs? Actually, it's completely the opposite. Strict food regulations require clear labeling if organs are used, so big manufacturers choose to leave them out entirely. Then, where do those organs go? They are loaded onto cargo ships, and many of them actually come to Korea. The rest goes straight into pet food. It's not that they don't eat it, they just hide it from view. Now, let's step into a Korean supermarket. Right there, you'll easily find sundae neatly sealed in convenient vacuum packaging. There are also plenty of sundae soup restaurants in LA, New York, and Atlanta, serving as true hometown soul food. But here's the real problem. Its English name, Korean blood sausage. Now that name alone sounds a bit intense. There are two major barriers for Westerners: the mental resistance to blood and that uniquely chewy, gelatinous texture. Western sausages are usually soft and crumbly, so this chewy texture feels entirely foreign and unfamiliar to most locals.
And here is another interesting twist. All the sundae sold in America is made locally, not imported from Korea.
This is due to strict quarantine laws regarding Korea's history of foot and mouth disease, which completely blocks raw meat imports. The fresh blood faces the exact same rules. It cannot cross borders without proper heat treatment, forcing local production.
Look at Japan's case. A master craftsman built a local factory there, but he completely removed blood from the recipe.
The basic ingredients exist everywhere, but culture brings them to life. So, why don't we travel to Spain next?
Welcome to Burgos in northern Spain, a beautiful region that surprisingly has its very own traditional style of blood sausage.
Known as Morcilla de Burgos, it looks like a dark, almost pitch-black sausage on the outside to the eye.
But if you slice it open, you'll be genuinely surprised because it is actually filled with rice, just like sundae.
Western blood sausages typically use oatmeal or breadcrumbs as fillers, making the use of rice incredibly rare and unique.
This rice arrived back in the 18th century from Valencia, brought over all the way by local cart drivers. The ultimate secret ingredient here is the local horkal onion, and they use an incredibly massive amount of it. The spices are quite different, featuring smoked paprika and cumin, whereas Korea heavily relies on pungent garlic and perilla seeds. The way they eat it is unique too. They pan fry or deep fry it in oil to make the outside crispy. They often serve it as a pincho, carefully skewered onto bread and perfectly paired with fresh green peppers.
It even received official EU certification, becoming a protected regional heritage. So, what about the story of Korean sundae?
Now, let's head back to a Korean street food joint, where sundae follows a strict, unwritten rule of eating. I'm talking about this exact iconic moment. dipping a piece of chewy sundae straight into spicy, sweet tteokbokki sauce.
Every region prefers something different, ranging from salt, samjang, and sweet chili paste to deeply savory salted shrimp sauce.
This isn't an official recipe. It's a living culture born right in street food shops. A tip learned through experience. And there's a good reason for it. That rich, spicy sweet sauce perfectly masks any strong, gamey odors from the organs.
Using animal organs, blood, and rice isn't unique to Korea. You can find similar dishes all across the globe.
But Korea uniquely serves all of this together on a single table in local alleyway shops. That's the Korean way. It has been a wonderful journey through these 6 iconic dishes. Thank you for watching, and see you next series.